All right, so we're diving into Jamie Dimon today.
Sounds good.
You guys send us his Wikipedia page. Want to go a little deeper than the headlines?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Totally. Right.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
he's been called the savior of Wall Street, but also,
Not everyone's favorite person.
not everyone's favorite person, exactly.
Right, right.
So how did he become so influential?
Well, it's interesting. When you look at his career, he really tracks alongside the massive changes in American finance in the last few decades.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Shakespearean story, you know?
Okay.
Ambition, loyalty, fierce competition, maybe even a little betrayal.
Okay, Shakespeare with a Bloomberg terminal.
Exactly.
So to get him, we got to start with his world.
Okay.
Families steeped in finance,
Yeah.
right? Father and grandfather, stockbrokers.
And not just any firm, Shearson,
Okay.
a name synonymous with Wall Street power.
Wow, yeah.
Almost like a modern dynasty, you know?
Yeah, and this dynasty, he's not waiting around for, like, a post-graduation internship. This guy, summer job at Shearson while he's at Tufts.
Orchestrated by his dad, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, talk about a family affair, right? But it shows you this isn't just a career. It's practically in his DNA.
It's in the genes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's after Harvard Business School that things get really interesting.
Yep.
He's got offers from everyone. The Giants, Goldman Sachs.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan Stanley, you name it. They want him.
Those were the golden tickets, you know. If you wanted to climb that Wall Street ladder.
Exactly. And he chooses
Let me guess.
Sandy Weil
Oh,
at American Express.
interesting.
Now, Weil's building something, but he's not at that level yet.
Right, right. And what's the story? Weil promised him one thing those other firms couldn't. Fun.
Fun
Yeah,
on Wall Street.
that's the story.
All right, so what do we think fun means in this context?
I think fun meant opportunity.
Oh,
A chance to build something new, to shake things up, right?
Yeah.
Weil was known for his aggressive entrepreneurial style. And that probably resonated with Dimon a lot more than the kind of buttoned-up culture of those established firms.
So it's not just about the money, it's about the game.
Exactly.
The challenge.
A challenge, yeah.
Maybe proving something.
Absolutely.
And he does. 30 years old, CFO of Commercial Credit.
Wow.
After Weil takes over, this is where we see the Dimon playbook emerge.
Exactly. Commercial Credit was a bit of a fixer-upper.
Okay.
And Dimon, he dives right in, turns the company around, shows his talent for spotting those opportunities, making those tough decisions,
Yeah.
really starts to hone his skills as a leader.
Yeah. And this sets the stage, right?
It does.
Because what comes next is the making of a financial giant.
Right.
But before we get to Citigroup,
Okay.
big question here. What did Dimon learn from Weil?
Yeah, good question.
How did this shape his approach?
Because this isn't your typical mentor-mentee relationship.
Right. Yeah.
There's a power dynamic, a clash of personalities.
It's going to come to a head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that relationship, that's really the key to understanding everything that comes after, right?
Yeah.
It's the 90s, the era of like massive mergers and acquisitions.
Right.
And they're leading the charge.
Creating this financial supermarket.
Exactly, the Citigroup model.
Yeah. And Dimon's running point on a lot of these deals.
He is.
It's not just growth. It's about reshaping, like, what can a financial institution even be?
And knowing what you know about financial systems, do you think this idea of a financial supermarket, was it flawed from the start?
Or was it more about the
The regulatory environment.
regulatory environment? Yeah, it's a question a lot of people were asking after 2008. Right.
Right.
But in the 90s, this is that ambition
Yeah.
kicking into overdrive, but
As
we know
ambition can be.
a double-edged sword.
Exactly, a double-edged sword.
1998, Citigroup's at its peak,
Yeah.
Weil pushes Dimon out
Forced death.
by his own mentor.
Brutal.
It's brutal. There's been endless speculation about what really went down.
A clash of egos.
Yeah.
Was it something more?
Okay.
Then there's the rumors about Weil's daughter, Jessica Biblievich,
Yeah.
and Dimon's supposed refusal to promote her.
Wow. Okay, so whether or not that's true, it just adds another layer here.
It does.
Was Dimon too principled,
Yeah.
too independent for this world that Weil's building?
Well, here's what I find interesting. He doesn't go quietly.
He doesn't back down.
This is not someone content to just fade into the background.
Right.
He's already building his next move.
Which is?
Bank One.
Bank One. Okay, so not quite the JPMorgan Chase we know today.
Not yet, no.
So what's he doing?
He spends a couple of years streamlining Bank One, cutting costs, making smart acquisitions, proving that he can build something from the ground up.
Okay.
And then the master stroke He orchestrates the merger of Bank One with JPMorgan Chase, 2004.
Wow.
Just like that.
Back on top.
He's CDO of a banking giant.
But he's not back where he started.
Exactly. He's learned from every success, every setback, and you almost wonder, did he see what was coming?
2008.
The financial crisis.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, most CEOs were scrambling for those government bailouts, but different tack.
He accepts TARP funds,
Okay.
but then quickly repays them,
Interesting.
wanting to avoid that kind of government intervention that some of his competitors faced.
What does that tell us about him?
Right.
His view of risk?
Yeah.
His relationship with Washington?
The big question, isn't it?
These are the questions that get to the heart of who he is as a leader.
Absolutely. And it's not just 2008.
Right.
This is a pattern with Dimon.
Okay.
He faces down the London whale trading debacle.
Oh, yeah.
Weathers, countless scandals, regulatory fines.
And every
JPMorgan Chase emerges, maybe not unscathed,
Right.
but certainly stronger.
Okay, the London whale, you got to admit, that's a pretty catchy name for a financial crisis.
It is.
Billions of dollars, one trader's bets. What's the takeaway?
I mean, it's about risk management.
It's about corporate culture, the unpredictability of the markets.
It's everything.
It's all of that, but it's also about leadership.
Okay.
Dimon, he takes responsibility.
Yeah.
He admits mistakes.
He learns.
He learns from them. He doesn't shy away from those tough decisions, even when they're unpopular.
And that's a constant.
It is.
Throughout his entire career, he is not afraid to make an enemy, to speak his mind,
Right.
even if it ruffles some feathers.
Absolutely.
And nowhere is that more evident than when he steps into the world of politics.
It's quite a journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
From fun at American Express to, like, the whole financial world on his shoulders.
Right. And now the stakes get even higher.
Yeah.
Because it's not just JPMorgan Chase anymore, right? He's on the political stage.
Absolutely. And he doesn't just, like, dip his toe in. He dives right in.
Head first, yeah. I mean, they call him one of the most politically active CEOs in recent history.
And his views, they don't exactly fit neatly into one box or the other. You know?
No, they don't. Take his stance on Brexit, for example.
Right. Strong voice for Remain, even warned about those job losses if the UK left.
And he wasn't just talking about it.
No.
He was over there meeting with UK leaders, really making the case this was personal for him.
And then there's the whole Trump Business Forum thing.
All these CEOs.
Clamoring to be at the table, advise the new president.
And Dimon.
Right there with them.
He joins the forum, but then after Charlottesville, when you had all these CEOs distancing themselves.
Dimon's one of the first to cut ties completely.
Yeah, which tells you something, right? His willingness to walk away, even from power and influence.
Yeah, he's willing to take a stand.
He's not just thinking about the bottom line anymore. It's social responsibility, corporate citizenship, that kind of thing.
So where does this leave his legacy, then? Titan of Wall Street, political maverick, corporate statesman, it is all of that.
It's tough to pin him down with one label, isn't it?
It really is.
He's a product of Wall Street, for sure, but he's also someone who's not afraid to challenge how things are done, even if it makes a few people angry along the way.
Exactly, and that's what makes him so interesting, right?
Totally, because Dimon reminds us that finance, it's about more than just numbers.
Right.
It's about power. It's about influence.
And the people who hold it.
And those people, those decisions, they affect all of us.
Absolutely. Dimon's story, it's still being written. It's one we should definitely be paying attention to.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for diving in with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.